Good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Monday, is the beginning of the work week, and I believe we are at build day 281 or 282. I will make sure that I have the correct day when I do the editing tonight. Of course, yesterday was Sunday, and I did not do an episode yesterday. I should have done an episode yesterday. We traveled to Alabang. And we did so much in Alabang. I could introduce you to many of the companies, the small stores inside the CW Alabang Philinvest complex up there, the Home Depot complex, that had many of the things that we needed. They didn't have it in stock, but we ended up doing an order. And some examples of those are, we have 3 lights that go on the outside of the sunroom for the patio, and it's going to be covered by a 1-meter awning out there. And I was able to order that from the Wilcon. It's like a third-party vendor that supplies to Wilcon, so it's not something they normally have in stock. So I had to order that. I also picked up yesterday. You haven't seen it yet. We're going to bring it in today. We have the lights that go here that drop down over the island. We picked up those lights yesterday from one of those vendors inside that CW Home Depot complex. We also, let's see, I picked up some supplies for the generator, specifically the plug that goes inside the wall and the plate in the box that it connects into, and some other things, which is lucky for us because our electrician is here bright and early this morning, and he is installing all the hardware for the automatic transfer switch and the connection to the generator. And we're going to do some testing for the control cable there. We're going to try to run the control cables over Cat 6. We're going to do an experiment to see if that will work. Also, inside this room inside here, we are getting back to, I believe, the cabinetry work inside there. We have to close out the cabinetry work. That's why the dryer washer combo inside there is undercover so we don't get any damage. Lots of things going on this morning. Finishing, we picked up paint yesterday, and the paint that we picked up is not that, because that's the wrong paint that is on there. That's the same color paint as this right here. I picked up paint that is going to match the color as close as I could do it for the posts that are gonna, the arm rail, like the baluster type of rails that we have that are going around the house. Picked that up yesterday, and that's that little container right there. Lots of stuff going on. Well, we don't have electricity right now, and it's by design. The reason we don't have electricity inside the house is not bottleneck, but we've severed ourselves from the bottleneck grid right now to start hooking up the wiring for the automatic transfer switch and the generator. And there are other things that are happening right now that was happening on Saturday, and we're doing a continuation, like the finishing and things like that. Well, anyway, that's a lot of information for an intro. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and let's go ahead and do that. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Well, anyway, I have to run into town real quick. The blade that my carpenter is using, that you just saw him using to trim the edge of the door, that brand new mahogany door that we're using for the entranceway up the stairways from the basement to the first floor, his blade is so dull it's burning. That's what'll happen is when you use a blade incorrectly, so like a wood blade on something that's concrete or something like that, it will dull the blade, and when you try to use it on wood, it will burn it. It will just do friction and burn it. It won't do the cutting. So I'm going to run down, I'm going to pick him up a blade, and those pieces that we need for the generator, the additional connectors that I wasn't able to get yesterday or forgot to get yesterday, I'm going to try to score those this morning as well. So let's head on into Lipa, over to McKilling, and hopefully they have what we need there. If not, we'll be able to get it at one of the other hardware stores. It's a common connector that we're looking for. Alright, here we are at McKilling. Let's see if we can score all those items that we need. Hopefully we can do one-stop shopping. We don't have to go to any of the other places. They do not have the connector that I need to go onto the side of the generator. We're going to have to look somewhere else, but they do have some 12 gauge 3-wire for the short span between the generator and where we're going to plug into the wall. So I need to grab whatever I can while I can when I find it. So we're going to grab that from here. And I also got the saw blade. I bought 2 saw blades. I bought one that's a standard rip, and I got one that has more teeth per inch, and that is for fine cutting. So I'm going to pick those up, and what if my builder uses it, my carpenter uses it and wants to use the fine to make a nice clean cut without a lot of sanding, he can use either one, and when they're done with it, they can give it back to me, and we'll use it for our own radial arm saw or our circular saw. All right, well, anyway, we got 2 of the 3 items that we needed here at McKilling. My options are pretty much in this area. I think for my best chance of getting what I need are Handyman, and then Ace, then City Hardware, probably in that order. So we're at a point right here. Handyman that way, and Ace that way. So I think Handyman might have what I need, so we'll run there real quick. A little change in plan, since McKilling is right across the street from SM Lipa and Ace is inside SM Lipa. We're going to run in here real quick because first thing in the morning when you get here, if you look, all these parking spaces, the free parking spaces, are available at 10 a.m. when the mall opens. So we're going to go here and check Ace out first, and if not, then we'll go down to Handyman. Well, anyway, this morning I stopped by Bottleneck to pay for my electricity bill, and there were like 120 people in line ahead of me there. I took the number, and I got to thinking, oh my goodness, if I have to stop by the mall anyway, they have the SM Business Center, the Business Services Center here, and you can pay your utility bills here as well, and there's a small fee, less than 10 pesos, something like that. And you see what the line is inside here. There's like almost nobody, so we'll get it done here instead of doing it at the utility company. Well, that was great. I literally spent maybe 2 minutes inside there, where I could have spent 45 minutes to an hour at Bottleneck this morning. I don't know. Some days you go into Bottleneck in the office. I haven't figured that one out yet, when it's at low volume and when they have high volume. Obviously, on a Monday, it's probably not a good day to go. So let's go ahead and head up to Ace. This is the plug that I need right here, this round lock-in plug. It's amazing, all these places sell these generators here, but sometimes you go inside and they don't sell the plug that plugs into this right here that you need to connect to your house. Let's see if Ace has it. Not looking good. Okay, no luck here at Ace. They no stock. No stock. So anyway, handyman and then a City Hardware. That's the order that will go. Kind of reversed order, but I was kind of hoping they had it here. She said they had one in stock, but she can't find it, right? So anyway, we'll go try to find another store. I know there's somewhere in Lipa that has the connector that we need. So onward and forward. Internet with PLDT for the past 24 hours. I'm going to stop by the PLDT office and try to find out what's going on. All right, well anyway, that takes care of that. It was a crazy thing that happened. What ended up happening was my account was blocked. It's not that the service was down, it was blocked. And the reason it was blocked, I went in 3, 4, 5 days ago and I settled my PLDT account. I went in and said, I need to pay my bill. And when I went to go pay my bill, it was a little bit less than normal, but I thought, well, maybe it's because of an interruption in service. So I paid for the bill, and then I thought everything was good. Then, as of yesterday morning at about 8 a.m., I had no internet. So today I did a follow-up. A good thing I did the follow-up because it's not an outage. They said what I paid for was a transfer in service. If you remember, when I first set up my account, I set it up in my sister-in-law's name. Then I transferred because I didn't have a visa to live in the country at the time. So I set it up under her name so I had internet. Then once the visa and everything came through, I put in a request to change over to my name, but it takes 1 year because you have to be on their service for a year. Well, the year was up in January, and what I paid the last bill, it was for a transfer fee, not for my normal billing cycle, but they didn't tell me that I had to pay another fee, which was my service fee, for the following oncoming month. It should have all been done. So there was confusion, but I got it taken care of now. And according to the customer service rep, after I pay my bill, which I just did, I should have service again in 3 to 5 hours. We'll see. I was driving down the road and I saw this industrial supply store on the way to Robinson, where Handyman is. And I thought to myself, industrial, maybe they have what I need. So I drove inside here, and they have exactly what I need here, and it was half the price that they were charging me at Ace. So we're gonna pick it up, and then we're done. And then we'll head back to Villa Feliz. Big score of the day. Back here at Villa Feliz, it's after lunchtime right now, and then I walk down here, and our transfer switches that we had here, the wall is down there now. My electrician pulled everything out, but he has a recommendation to embed the ATS in the wall, and I said that would be okay. It would look better like that. Normally it's secured to the outside mainly because there's a wall up usually already, and it's very easy to fasten the wall. But if you can do it during construction, and you can embed the ATS inside where it's nice and clean, that will look really good. The only thing is you have to make sure that you have the accessibility to any of the components inside. In the event any component goes bad, and you'll see inside there are several components inside here. But if you look at these, and you don't need to get to the back side or anything like that, and we looked at everything, and all the panels inside, if you remove screws inside there without getting to the back, you can get to those and you can get each one of the components. That's what you need to take into consideration before you embed anything inside concrete. Another one of the things that we have to do now, because this is the control cable right here, and we unscrewed it just to see, the control cable needs to go through the top up here, because our power and our control is coming from the top of our access, where we have the 1-inch pipe inside there. Well, as with anything, common sense dictates that you test everything. So we will test everything to make sure it works properly. And before it gets installed, we'll make sure that we have all the right wires connected to the right wires and things like that. So it should be interesting. I'm curious to see what it's going to look like and function like when this is completed. So we had a little bit of a challenge here with the orientation of the electronics inside the box with the top and the bottom. We need to come through the top of the box, and the top of the box is this side over here. And the ATS is set up where all the access are on the bottom of the box. So my electrician was saying, well, we'll cut some holes inside it, and the top of it will make the holes inside there. And I'm like, wait a minute, let's take a look at this. And I looked at the mounting for the plates inside here, the mounting for the internal plate that has all the electrical. And they're spaced exactly the same, the top and the bottom, top and the bottom. So I said, let's keep it like it is and invert the box upside down, and then put this back in so that the buttons on the outside aren't upside down, the control panel. And the only thing that we have to do for drilling is to drill a hole right here and then right here, like these are on this side, for the door, because remember, we're turning everything upside down. And we tested how everything fit inside there, and it's going to work perfect. So sometimes you have to think outside the box, or inside the box in this case. So here's a little tip, and it has to do with me working with integration. If you are modifying any type of a cable set, and you have pre-made connectors from the factory, what you want to do is you want to check, you want to do a pin out. You see the holes on these ends right here. If we're going to be cutting one of these, and we're going to use the long section in the generator room, and in the small section we're going to use the hook to our extension from the generator room over. But before you cut anything, what you want to do is you want to do an ohm check. So you want to check on the cables, they're marked. You can't really see them, but they'll be marked A, B, C, D, E, F, G, however many cables you have in there. And you want to ohm out each end, because what will happen, some of the manufacturers, they will do a crossover, like A to B or A to F or something like that. And you want to make sure that you reconnect it back the exact same way if you're doing a modification. Tip of the day. We've kind of neglected what's going on the outside of the house today. Let's kind of take a look. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad on the microphone, but let's see where we are on both of our finishing and our soffit. We're getting there on the finish. We're only working on one side right now for finishing, so all the energy for finishing is focused over on this part of our building, on the north side, and on our soffit. Soffit with lights up to here. The two vents are in now, and doing the trim work that's going to where you slide in each one of the soffit PVC panels inside of here. So I can tell we've moved from the platform on the wooden stairs. We're back down to the ceramic. Remember, we have just a few more pieces of the ceramic wood tile for the stairs between the basement and the first floor. So it is the end of the day. It's about 10:15 after 5. The crew are done for the day, and let's just capture what was completed for today. And I think there was stuff done mostly basement, first floor, and outside today. I don't think we did anything, if I'm correct, I don't think we did anything on the second floor today. So inside, since I'm standing right here in the great room, nothing got done up here. I asked that we complete this because I want to get this scaffolding down. But I also asked my builder if we can go ahead and knock out the framing, the molding like this that goes around those windows, so we can pull this away, and also do the one for for the arch ceiling up there, the arch window. And he will, I don't know, we'll get to it, I guess, when we get to it. Today was more of the finishing. Remember on Saturday, they were putting that mixture of the water and the white paint and the skim coat, and they were doing that around every place that had to do with like the precast. And today was the sanding, taking all of that they did last Saturday, a couple days ago, and doing the sanding. Also in the kitchen, first time we're using art. Trying to figure out how to use. I've never done, and neither has Ness, ever done these electronic, newfangled, digital types of ovens and microwaves and everything like that. The stovetop is very easy. I'll show you real quick if you're into the stovetop for the Elba. It's Italian, made in Italy. This one is, it's pretty much, it's a power on button right here, and then you just select which element that you want to use, and it's up and down for the heating element on there. Very easy to use. The microwave is trying to figure out some of these things on here just to set the clock, which I finally figured out. You hold this down for a couple of seconds, and then this flashing thing stops flashing. Then you can adjust it up and down with the little dial here. We haven't figured out much more, except for we were able to set the time just a regular, but all these other things for grill and combination, and we'll figure that out later too. On the on the oven, there's these 3 touch buttons that you have on here, and just trying to set the clock, it's kind of a pain. But we got the clock set, but now it's unset because we've been turning the power on and off so many times today, and it doesn't have a hold memory kind of a thing. So every time you lose power, which is a lot in the Philippines, we need to learn how to set that very easily. And then you have a multifunction selector, and I think we're choosing the grill down here. Then you set the temperature, and I can smell the new, you know, when you cook something brand new the very first time in anything, you can smell the things burning off on the inside, and that's what's going on inside there. So again, inside, I hope you don't mind me going through a cooking 101 using appliance thing that's right now, but we're trying to figure out how to do this. Anyway, so what else got done? Oh, also on the first floor here, inside the laundry room, you saw them earlier today, and we went pink on our cabinet. And remember, pink is the stage prior to them putting the coat on top of it. There's a couple other little steps that they have, a bunch of shiny stuff, and then they put a darker coat and make it shiny, and then some streaking, and it ends up looking like wood simulation. On the stairs today, let's see, we finally got the bolts in, the mounting bolts, and up underneath all the wood, we have some leveling cement, and we have the anchor bolts inside here, which I asked them to do that specifically so that we have non-shifting, non-shrinking, or expansion of any of the platform later on that will cause cracks and things like that. So they did that. Also, the same person that did that was working on the tile, the ceramic wood tile that's going to fill this area right here, as well as these little gaps that we have on the side over here. And they are down in the basement, which we need to go to next anyway, because that's our next area that we're doing for closing today. And that's using this. There's the tiles he cut today out of these boxes right here. And that got taken care of. Oh, you saw today they were doing some of the finishing on the cabinetry, and these are the cabinetries that's going over, the cabinet doors that are going over those pink cabinet shelves that are inside the laundry room. They will end up, the one in the laundry room will end up looking just like this right here. And then back in the back, of course, you saw our electrician working on the ATS today. Remember what we did is we modified the ATS case. We modified how the internal components are oriented. We basically swapped them upside down 180 degrees. They cut out the wall here that used to have 2 manual transfer switches. Neither one, but one of them was pretty much useless because it was set up with the solar, and the solar doesn't use that, so we had to pull that one out anyway, this one that goes here. And my electrician is a great electrician for conventional things, and he didn't know about how solar works, so in his mind solar works just like a generator. It's another power source that you have an option to choose on or off, one or the other, and that's why he put a manual transfer switch on. But once I explained to him, he said, yeah, we'll have to take that out, and he took that out. And we pulled the one up here, since that was a manual transfer switch for bot elect or generator, and remember, we're doing the automatic transfer switch, so we removed that as well, and we will do all the wiring for that. Hopefully we get back into that tomorrow, so that we can, we need to test the generator. Now once we test the generator, the next thing that we'll do is we will do people keep asking me the question about exhaust. And it's very, very important, because you don't want carbon monoxide inside your house. I mean, that's a silent killer. So what we'll do is, I'm going to let everybody know, is the exhaust that's on here will be ported out through the wall right here. So that will be ported out. These windows will always be open for intake in the event that the generator kicks on from the automatic transfer switch. So we need air going into the engine, and the exhaust will go outside. So that's how we will handle our generator and our exhaust questions that people have been asking about over probably the last week, since we went shopping for that generator down at Vulcan. So and then we'll go to the outside here, and on the outside, let's take a look at what was accomplished today. Of course, most of the attention was focused on the north side of the house, which is the back side of the house for us. And lots of finishing being done here. Sanding down the skim coats, doing a coat of the base, the Boysen's B701. And still lots and lots of finishing going on here. As well as the soffit worker was doing the soffit. So we have all this enclosed, and this one is almost ready to, he's finishing up the soffit vent over here, and then he will do the panels on the side. Also, my electrician will be diverted at some point from the generator to lights. That's what he's been going back and forth, and we will put the pin lights. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 pin lights back here for the back of the house, so we have good illumination on the back. When you do your lights, you have to try to have some kind of a balance. And I was only going to do one there, but then I looked for the balance for what we have on the side, and we have one here. And the way we've been doing it is there's a soffit vent, and then we'll do a pin light on the edge of each one of the soffit vents. So if we put one there, it would be unbalanced with these on this side. So we'll have 1, 2, 3 on each side of the soffit vent. It's your choice, it's your preference. It depends on how much light you want, how much you want to pay in electricity. But I started counting today. Remember, when you talk about your electricity, it's based on watts, how many watts that you used, a measurement of energy. These soffit lights that we're using all around, except for a few, the soffit lights are 5 watts. The ones inside the lanterns up there, you see the 3 lanterns there, and the lanterns, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have 8 of those, and each one of those are 4 watts. So I started doing some rough calculating, and we'll include the ones on this part of the house, the 2 that will be there, and the 2 on that side or around the corner. I think those are, if I remember correctly, I think those are 7.5. So I started calculating most of them, and we're probably going to be around less than 200 watts, which is the incandescent wise, that's just a few, that's like 3 light bulbs. If you have, you know, like 80 watt, 60, 80 watt or something like that, again, plus or minus. So they are very efficient, and you can have all that nice illumination on the outside of your house without using a lot of electricity. And also today I had our painter do a test swatch for the wall here. The color that we're trying to achieve, the goal is to achieve what we're using for the posts that are going to be used for the railing. And this was the color that we went. It's kind of a cool color, And remember, we're going to put on here we're going to do some precast trim that's going to go out to right about this area right here, so it'll stick out and it will be like a ledge. But I shouldn't have had him paint the top of this, because the precast and the top are going to be a lighter color. It's going to be a white, either a white or an off-white, and to give us a little bit of defining detail, just like you would have with the archways there. And I think that will look really good, defining the top of the fence, and then the wall itself will be a different color. And at first I want to do skim coat on here to make the smooth, but I kind of like this roughness on the outside of here. Gives a little bit of depth and a little bit of texture. The only thing I don't like is where they did the repair. You'll see the repair, like you can tell. You can see the repair here over the standard. If it could have been nice and clean, the entire wall, and this is going to show up also, this little bit of a repair. Remember where we broke the top and dropped the level of our fence down? You'll see that, but I don't think it will be too bad. And most of it all the way down, I think we're going to be good, because the precast, you'll see, goes right here. And this cleanup area where we did on top of the breaking down the wall is right where the precast is going to be. So I think it will be okay. And remember, we're also going to do stonework. It's going to be like slate or some type of stonework that goes around here, and it's going to go all the way down for the post, and it will match up on top and bottom underneath the little detail of the ledge that we have there. So I think it's going to look very, very nice. I caught you. I caught you napping on the job, guard dog. Well, anyway, that's about it for today. I'm going to close and try to help Ness figure out how to cook with this new oven that we have inside of here. So tomorrow is going to be Tuesday, and Tuesday is going to be a lot of the same things that are happening today. Oh, I didn't mention, remember, I did miss something. It was the door. Did you see them doing the door work? So we're getting the door installed for the pump, the water pump room, as well as the doorway that goes from the basement up into the kitchen area. So that was done also. So let me go ahead and close for today. Tomorrow's going to be Tuesday. A lot of the same stuff that we're doing today. And I might have to do a run, another run to one of the hardware stores, probably Wilcon down in Tonga City. I need a few more pin lights, believe it or not. I don't have enough pin lights for these top portions right here. This section right here, and that section up there over the master CR, the master bathroom. So somehow I came short on those. I have to pick those up. And I'm sure there's going to be a few other items that we're going to need as well. So could be a road trip, a very short road trip, because remember, it's only about 30 minutes away from here. So that's about it for today. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed, and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until tomorrow, you have a wonderful and blessed day.